is Rock City FM News.
The time is 12 o'clock and here's the media news. First, the top stories. 5 Mapoli students in prison 15 days after failure to meet bail conditions. Petroleum Minister says petrol crisis will last up to 18 months. Mass evacuation of stranded Nigerian migrants from Libya begins. Again, gunmen strike in River State killed 7 people. China offers 10-year visas to highly skilled people. US cuts security assistance to Pakistan over terror groups. I am Tobi Johnson, bringing the news in details shortly. 5 of the students of Moshood Abiola Polytechnic at Abeokuta Mapoli arrested during last December 19 violent protest by students of the institution in Abeokuta are still languishing in prison custody. They were among the 17 Mapoli students arraigned by the police before an Abeokuta Chief Magistrate Court in connection with the violent protest over the uncertainty of when the suspended semester examination will hold. The Chief Magistrate Adeola Adelaja last December 21 granted each of the 17 students bail in a sum of 500,000 naira with 2 sureties in like sum. As at last Friday, 12 of the arraigned students had perfected the bail conditions and released from Ibarra prisons, leaving 5 of them who spent the new year in prison custody. On Thursday, January 4, attempt by parents and lawyers to perfect the bail conditions of the 2 of the 5 students failed. The 17 students were accused of using dangerous weapons to attack members of the public and in the process injured a policeman on duty during the violent protest. The case was adjourned to February 2, 2018 for mention. The Vigilance Service of Ogun State says it arrested 59 suspects for robbery, kidnapping, counterfeiting, and criminal activities within the state in 2017. Large quantities of Indian hemp, 22 mobile phones, jewelries, several electronic gadgets, including LCD plasma television, DVD players, home theater, and 5 motorcycles were recovered from the suspect. Also recovered from the suspect are 1 million naira cash, as well as dangerous weapons, including 1 combat axe and pairs of scissors. The agency spokesman, Moruf Yusuf, who made this known to Rock City FM in Abeokuta, says the highest number of arrests of 18 suspects was recorded in August, 7 in September, 6 each in July and October, while 5 were arrested in December. 4 suspects, according to him, were arrested in February, 3 suspects each arrested in April and November, with January and June having 2 suspects each, while the least number of 1 arrest was recorded in the month of May during the year of the review. Petroleum Resources Minister of State Dr. Ibe Kechiko says the crisis in the petroleum sector will end within the next 18 months. The minister, speaking at the investigative hearing of the Senate Committee on the Petrol Crisis, says the problems of pricing and distribution of products will end within the period. Kechiko explains that in the interim, petroleum product marketers may be allowed to sell a litre of petrol above the regulated pump price of 145 naira per litre. He blamed the scarcity and landing cost of imported petrol at 171 naira on the sharp rise in the exchange rate of the dollar from 285 naira, when the pump price was fixed at 145 naira per litre. The minister says for the importers to resume importation of petrol, the exchange rate must be reduced to 240 naira to $1 for them. Kachiko, however, says the solution to the crisis is refining of Nigeria's crude oil locally.
Even if they operate at the full capacity, the 4 refineries will produce about 18 million litres of petrol daily, which is still far below Nigeria's daily requirement of about 35 million litres. For instance, the 4 refineries produced 204.5 million litres in October last year. Data from the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation (NNPC) shows that 915.48 million litres of petrol was imported during the month. The hope of the country to end its dependence on imported petrol now depends largely on the 600,000 barrel daily mega refinery being constructed by Dangote Industries at Lekki area of Lagos. The proposed modular refinery project, to be located in the Niger Delta region, are also expected to turn Nigeria from an importer to exporter of petroleum.
Roma's evacuation of stranded Nigerian migrants from Libya is scheduled to begin today. 5,037 stranded migrants will be evacuated in the exercise being spearheaded by the federal government. Ahead of the evacuation exercise, a federal government delegation led by the Foreign Affairs Minister Geoffrey Yema arrived Tripoli, the Libyan capital, last Wednesday. Spokesman of the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, Sani Dati, says two Nigerian airlines were contracted to transport the stranded migrants back to the country. Ahead of the arrival in the country, NEMA spokesman said that a reception center had been set up in Port Harcourt for where they will be transported to the various states. Again, gunmen have struck in Rivers State, killing 7 people in Emuhua local government area of the state. The attack on Thursday morning is coming 4 days after gunmen also killed 17 worshippers returning from the New Year crossover service in Omoku in the Ogba Undoni local government area. The gunmen in Thursday's attacks wore masks when they invaded the Beda and opened fire on residents. One of the 7 victims, according to a report, is a lawyer just called to the bar. Governor Eyesan Wike had announced a bounty for information on the killers of the worshippers in Omoku. A Katsina State Magistrate Court has sentenced this housewife to a 10-month jail term for attempting to sell her twin babies for 350,000 naira. The accused, Satin Wanawan, was arrested by the police last month at Maraba, Kankara, while negotiating the sale of the babies. Chief Magistrate Nuruddin El-Ladam, however, gives her an option of 10,000 naira fine on the grounds that she is suffering abject poverty. Other considerations for the fine option, according to the Chief Magistrate, are the health condition of the babies and the number of days they spent in prison custody. The Chief Magistrate urged wealthy Nigerians and non-governmental organizations to assist the convict because of her abject poverty. You're still listening to the Midday News on Rock City 101.9 FM. Up next, we bring you foreign, business, and sport news. Please do stay with us. China is issuing long-term visas to lure highly skilled people from abroad to work in the country. The multi-entry visas will be valid for between 5 and 10 years, according to state media. Technology leaders, entrepreneurs, and scientists from in-demand sectors are among those eligible to apply. When plans for the scheme were first considered, China said at least 50,000 foreigners would benefit. Applications for the visas can be made online, free of charge, and will be processed quickly. Visa holders will be allowed to remain in the country for up to 180 days at a time, and then will be eligible to bring partners and children. In 2016, China introduced a ranking system for expatriates aimed at identifying the skills it wanted to attract while reducing the number of lower-skilled foreigners coming into the country. Top scientists, heads of major financial institutions, and professors of overseas high-level universities also fit the bill. North Korea has accepted an offer to attend the high-level talks next week. South Korean officials have said a meeting on January 9 will focus on finding a way for North Korean athletes to attend the Winter Olympic Games in South Korea in February. North Korean leader Kim Jong-un said this week that sending a delegation to the Games would be a good opportunity to show unity of the people. The meeting is expected to be held at Panmunjom on the border. This will be the first high-level talks both Koreas have had since December 2015. It is not yet clear who will be attending. U.S. Defense Secretary James Mattis said on Thursday that the agreement was a result of international pressure, but added that it was unclear whether the move was a real olive branch or a one-off from Mr. Kim. The U.S. government is cutting almost all security aid to Pakistan, saying it has failed to deal with terrorist networks operating on its soil. The State Department said a freeze would remain in place until Islamabad took action against the Haqqani network and the Afghan Taliban. Earlier this week, President Donald Trump accused Pakistan of lying and deceiving the U.S. while receiving billions in aid. The U.S. stance has been praised by India and Afghanistan, But China, which is investing tens of billions in Pakistan, has defended Islamabad. The Trump administration had already delayed handing over $255 million in military aid to Pakistan. In announcing the restrictions, State Department spokeswoman Heather Nauert said she could not yet put a dollar value on how much aid was being cut. In business, the national electricity grid has collapsed for the second time within 24 hours this week. The grid collapsed on January 2 following the fire outbreak on the Escravos Lagos gas pipeline, which cut the supply of gas to 6 power stations in Lagos, Ogun, and Ondo State. The national grid collapsed again at 2:19 p.m. on January 3 as the transmission company of Nigeria was busy restoring the grid that collapsed on Tuesday night. TCN spokesman Ndidi Uba, in a statement on Wednesday, says preliminary information suggests that Udupani Ikotepede 330 kV power line tripped off, cutting off generation at Okupani power station. Finally, on the media news, sport news. China-based striker Ushuala also emerged winner of the Women's Player of the Year award after a tight contest with Christina Gatlana of South Africa and Cameroon's Gabrielle Abundi. South Africa won the Women's National Team of the Year, while Wydad Casablanca emerged Club of the Year winner after the CAF Champions League success. Egypt coach Hector Cooper beat Super Eagles coach General and Wydad coach Hussein Amuta to win the Best Coach of the Year. Another promising talent emerged as Patson Daka won the Youth Player of the Year award, while Egypt emerged National Team of the Year. Ibrahim Sunday was honored as the winner of Legend Award, and President-elect in Liberia, George Openware, was presented with a Platinum Award. That was the media news, and just before we go, the major stories once again. 5 Mapoli students in prison 15 days after failure to meet bail conditions. Petroleum Minister of State says petrol crisis will last up to 18 months. Mass evacuation of stranded Nigerian migrants begins from Libya. Gunmen have struck again in Rivers State, killing 7 people. On the foreign scene, we told you that China has offered 10-year visas to highly skilled people. US has decided to cut security assistance to Pakistan over terror groups. For more stories and to listen to us live, please log on to our website www.rockcitfmradio.com/live. Thank you so much for listening. I am Tobi Joseph. Good afternoon.